Thank you for tuning in to our project Aural Bytes, a musical omakase. The term omakase is commonly used in Japanese cuisine and it translates to, I will leave it up to you. Applying this concept, Ko will not only be presenting 15 new pieces by 5 prominent Singaporean composers, but we will also be working closely with these composers to create the best program for you, our listeners. Along with these new commissions are designs and videos by local designer and video director Melissa Lim. This project is supported by the National Arts Council. Each of these short pieces will draw inspiration from the different ethnic musical styles found in Singapore and expressed through the unique musical language of each of our collaborating composers. Instructions on when and what to do while listening to the music will be provided for a complete experience. However, this participation is purely at your own discretion. Please feel free to enjoy the music just the way you prefer it.
In this live stream, we'll be talking to Likie Lo. Likie is currently pursuing her studies at the Yongsi-Do Conservatory of Music. Her passions in electronic dance music and pop music has definitely played a huge part in her compositional style. Equally competent as a performer, she has performed the erhu as a soloist with both Chinese orchestras and symphony orchestras. So Likie, will you kindly introduce yourself briefly and also the 3 pieces that you wrote for us?
So I think you have done a very great job in the introduction. I'll just jump ahead. These 3 pieces are actually like a pivotal point in my composition life, even though it's not like a lot of years. But yeah, I realized that I really like doing like new music and EDM sort of style. So these 3 pieces actually is it's a learning point for me, and also like a very enjoyable period of time writing for quartet and electronic dance music.
So Likie, what are your influences with the 3 pieces, step, distractions, and drop?
I have quite a lot of influences for this, because I realized for this piece I looked up to people who usually do very orchestral or cinematic EDM, and also people who do a little bit newer EDM or a little bit more hard style, where they don't focus on pitch and melodies basically. So I looked up to them, and I also looked up to composers like Mason Bates, or composers like them. Or forgot the name.
Nice. And like with composing for us as a mixed instrumental ensemble, what did you consider was the most difficult aspect of composing for us?
I think because of the very interesting instrumentation. So and it's a quartet, and I think for me, I always try to make every part like very full, and try to incorporate every instrument, and I use every instrument as like their own role or their own part. So I think that's, and because it's wind instruments, so then giving each of you guys the rest, and like so basically the rest is very, very, I know it's very important, but it's also very hard, because I try to fill up everything all the time. But I think that this is a good time to learn to write for wind, because I usually don't really write for wind very much, but getting into it, I think is a good learning point.
I completely agree, and with distractions as well. Like, I was playing almost non-stop, and I was very thankful for that little one. I think 8 bars in the middle somewhere. That, like, it's a nice breather. Yeah, but yeah, thank you for that. And also, how important do you find this like working process where we have like communication to and fro between us and you?
Oh, I think it's been very enjoyable, and also very prompt, very quick. So I think there's not much difficulties there. And all the changes were conveyed like very clearly, and what I need to fix, not like vague stuff. So I think I really enjoyed the whole process with like communication and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and but with the creative process, like I remember you came down to Crown Center one afternoon to just record like multiphonic sounds, and did it influence, I don't know, the way you were writing? Or
I think the multiphonic sounds, they are very useful, but I think might be because of my phone or something. Should have used like a better recorder that I couldn't match the quality with my other samples. So, but I will use it in my other pieces if it's okay with you guys.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also we could see like your compositional growth within the three pieces, like right from the beginning until the last piece. We could see like the pieces actually, our parts got relatively more sparse and more thought out and more simple in a way. Yeah, like initially it was just like, you know, full blown. If we could add whatever, everything, we'll just put it in. Yeah. And towards the end, it was like very minimal notes as long as the effects were there. And yeah, I think we could really see the whole compositional growth within this short span of time as well. And just knowing the ensembles, like idiosyncrasies and some things we are like limitations as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this 3 month kind of process really helps, and not like I just give you 3 pieces and then nothing gets feedback or stuff. So I think it really helps the growth as well. It's because, you know, the first piece, and then you're like, okay, this. And the second piece, I'll take note of this. And then the third piece, I'll take note of whatever happened in the first and second piece. So it's, yeah, that's why I said that, like, it's a very good way to learn. Yeah, and I enjoyed the process.
I think it was a good way for us to learn as well, right? Like for us, like with our experience playing with the backing track, and also like I remember in one rehearsal, Benji was very, very exasperated. He was like, "We need to learn how to play more pop, guys."
Yeah, I think it's very important to be versatile in more than one genre as a musician or as a composer also.
And you know, as if we stay on this topic of your compositional process for a little bit more, uh, do you face any difficulties sort of like translating this sort of electronic style for wind instruments? Do you find that certain concepts or ideas that would work electronically don't translate as well to for wind instruments?
I think the idea of electronic music just doesn't translate well in any acoustic instrument, because electronic music is electronic, so there's no human needed. You don't need rest, you don't need to break, and everything is just very straight. If it's 128 BPM, 8 bars will take 30 seconds. It's just 30 seconds straight every single time. So it usually doesn't translate in anything. But timbral wise, I think wind instruments are the best for electronic dance music. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So now, just your own opinion on this idea of promoting our music, right? So you have also dabbled in contemporary compositional work and studies before what you were doing currently. So what do you think are the ways that we can get contemporary music to reach and engage with more audience?
I don't really have an answer for this question, because when I was a composition major, my prof actually told me, because I had this same question, like, you know, what if it's not popular, or, you know, what if nobody likes it? And he said, if whoever who wants to hear your music will come to hear your music. So it's about this audience that, you know, we already have, and how to keep them here. Because I feel like we cannot force somebody to like something if they don't. Like, if some new music expert don't like my EDM, I cannot force them to like it or listen to it. Yeah. So I think it's more about keeping the audience around than trying to grow, because I think if you keep the audience around, they will eventually tell their friends. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's also about like sticking to your art, knowing that it's
Yeah.
good work that you are doing, and then building like your following and your fan base. I think that's more important than just like trying to contribute things that would feed the masses, but it's actually just sub-quality, you know. It's nothing good at all.
Yeah, just like diluting it too much to
Yeah.
please everybody, right? Yeah.
And
Sorry,
it's okay.
just one more question from me. Do you have any predictions once I mean, of course, this is the launch, but once we launch the music, what do you think your sort of fan base and people who engage with your music would feel about these sort of newer sounds that you are working with over the last couple of months?
For my pieces, I think it might be taken well for the EDM community. For the first two pieces, for the first and the last piece. For distractions, maybe not really, because it's a little bit different. It's there. The EDM genre is inside, but it's more subtle because there's no like clear structure or anything, or there's no electronic like backing tracks with percussion, like dance music percussion. So I think for the first and the last piece is more standard, like big room house kind of thing, or like big house. And I don't think people will think much, but I feel that it's the first time I did an EDM tracks that have very elaborate composition. So I'm very excited for it.
But I must also add that like for distractions, I think it would work really well like with a big ensemble, like for a wind band even, yeah. Because the tonal language is quite band. Yeah, it's quite typical band music. Yeah, so you might consider actually writing this for a wind band, maybe transcribing it for a wind band.
Actually, for distractions, I already did like a EDM track for it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really like the drop melody, so I was like,
Yeah.
I think I should use it in an actual track.
Yeah,
So
that might be cool. And maybe you could also just give us the track, and if you perform the 3 pieces live, we could all use with a backing track instead of playing it acoustic for the distractions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe that might work too. You can reconsider.
Yeah, then a few more bars of rest for us.
Yeah. So, Likie, do you have any ideas or visions to how the audience might experience these pieces?
I mean, for me, it's like if they like it, then they like it. If they don't, I think it will be a little bit hard for the new music community to accept this as
New music, right?
Like contemporary music.
Yeah.
To accept this as, contemporary music. That's all the concerns that I have.
Yeah. But maybe they could like listen to this at night in a dimly lit room, or with like, ambient light with a glass of cocktail or something. Maybe that might be a suggestion for just like a chill dance night at home. Yeah. Thank you, Likie, for that quick chat, and thank you for writing the 3 pieces for us. It was a real pleasure working with you. And to the audiences, thank you for tuning in to Aural Bytes, a musical omakase.
Thank you for tuning in to Aural Bytes, a musical omakase. This project is generously supported by the Singapore National Arts Council. For more information, please find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are Koumusic, Koumusic. Stay safe, and we hope to see you at our next show.